Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with Monday Night Raw, broadcast live last night on USA Network from the Intrust Bank Arena in Wichita, Kansas. In the main event, Rhea Ripley defeated Raquel Rodriguez in a no disqualification match. It was her first singles match on Raw since January 1st.
You've got Ripley down. You have to finish this as soon as possible. You won't get long. Go for the Tejana bomb. And escaping once again is Ripley.
Oh, right into the steel chair that she set up long ago.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
She's been looking for Riptide all night long. Through the table for the win. Rhea Ripley.
Here's your winner, Rhea Ripley.
After the match, Ripley was confronted by Io Sky to end the show. World Champion Gunther was confronted by Finn Balor in the opening segment. Damian Priest jumped Balor, leading to a brawl in which the Judgment Day laid out both Priest and Gunther. As a result, Adam Pearce announced that the world title match at Saturday night's main event would now be a triple threat with Gunther, Balor, and Priest. Drew McIntyre jumped Sami Zayn once again at the conclusion of an in-ring promo segment involving Zayn and Seth Rollins. The New Day took part in another in-ring promo segment but were unable to address the crowd regarding their turn last week on Big E because of the loud negative reaction.
We were going to try to come out here and they're completely drowned out by the crowd. The New Day sucks. Just have them scurrying from the ring.
It's amazing how quickly your supposed fan base will turn on you. I think the New Day have shown admirable restraint.
That's the new reality for the New Day.
In an opening triple threat match in the Women's Intercontinental title tournament, Lyra Valkyria emerged victorious over Zelina Vega and Ivy Nile. In other results, the Final Testament beat the Wyatt Six when Karrion Kross pinned Uncle Howdy, and World Women's Champion Liv Morgan defeated Dakota Kai. After the match, Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville, and Zoe Stark attacked Kai. Damage Control made the save until Morgan attacked Io Sky. In All Elite Wrestling news, Rey Fenix has gone public with criticisms of the company. In a series of social media posts earlier this week, Fenix cited inhumane treatment as well as being denied medical care when he needed. He also indicated that he had a lot more to say on the matter but was still under contract. Sources from within AEW who spoke to Fightful were caught off guard by the remarks, with one source denying Phoenix's claims and dismissing them as an attempt to gain sympathy. Phoenix's AEW contract was extended into 2025 due to injury, despite the fact that his tag team partner and brother Penta El Zero Miedo recently entered free agency, and he even made an appearance at last week's AAA card in Mexico City. AEW's programming will be streaming live on the Max streaming platform in 2025, as was confirmed by Tony Khan during the All In Texas Countdown to On Sale live streaming event in Arlington, Texas. AEW programming will remain on TBS and TNT as well, but will also be live streaming on Max, starting with Dynamite Fight for the Fallen on January 1st. In ratings news, SmackDown last Friday drew a viewership of 1.494 million to USA Network, according to Programming Insider. That's up more than 150,000 viewers from the previous week's audience of 1.341 million. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .44, which was also up 10% from the previous week's rating of .40. AEW Rampage, which also aired on Friday night, drew an audience of 177,000 to TNT, according to Programming Insider. That's up more than 50,000 from the previous week's audience of 126,000, which was the lowest in the show's history. The 18 to 49-year-old demo rating for Rampage was a .04, which was also up from the previous week's rating of .03. And we close with some news from outside the ring. Pro Wrestling Illustrated put its January 2025 issue on sale yesterday, featuring the annual PWI Tag Team 100. Making the top of the list this year are WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. This is the first time that a women's tag team has topped the list. PWI released the remainder of the top 10 online, and they are as follows in order. NXT Tag Team Champions Fraxium, former IWGP Tag Team Champions Bishamon, former AEW World Tag Team Champions The Young Bucks, Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols, former TNA World Tag Team Champions Ace Austin and Chris Bay, All Japan Tag Team Champions the Saito Brothers, former WWE Tag Team Champions Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga, former Goddess of Stardom Champions Mai Sierra and Suzu Suzuki, and AEW's FTR. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.